for fair market value, really two reasons. One, at the end of, at least for copiers, you don't want the copiers. You want new copiers. So you
Especially since
continue-
they're generally abused.
They're generally abused, so you want to roll over your copiers. The
Yeah,
second
that one
reason,
was that like $15,000
yeah,
or something?
I would tell you that first reason is the main reason for doing it, but the second reason is, quite frankly, if you're going to do a lease, you need to do a fair market lease by law. I learned that last week, so.
Alrighty then. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
You don't need anything. Do you have somewhere else you can do color? I'd like my
Yeah, you said
strategic
that.
plans in color.
Yeah.
We can still do color
we
with the
can still
Ricoh
do color
printer.
with- Yep.
Oh, you can?
We
Okay.
looked at color, yeah, we looked
Alright.
at color, and
No, I read it. Okay.
Uh,
All right, thank you.
the
Yeah,
cost doesn't justify the move there at this point.
Okay.
3 years from now, it may be down to the point where it would make sense, but not now.
And the price will be,
Right.
for a color will be what it is, what this
Right,
is.
right.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion that the school committee authorize the superintendent or her designee to enter into a 48-month fair market lease for a copier for the central office for an annual lease not to exceed $3,000.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion?
Just clarification, so that's all part of the budget, that's not,
Correct.
okay.
It's in the copier line.
It's in the copier line right now.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard a thank you behind me.
Okay, moving on.
We have one more item here,
Computer lease.
computer lease.
And I believe we handed out earlier, a copy of an email that I sent out a couple of days ago with a proposal. You'll recall that in the override, there was $57,200 allocated for two computer labs at the high school, and the original thought process was, way back when we proposed that, was that we'd probably end up purchasing those labs. What we have done, and Principal Lucia's done a lot of good work in researching this, and also looking at what our space needs are at the middle high school, because there's a tremendous space crunch, as you know, at the middle high school. We looked at a little different option that will help us not only replace those two labs, but gain two portable labs. And the two portable labs are really necessary with the increased growth at the middle high school and the need to sort of resource some of those spaces that we would need to have for conventional labs if we didn't have the portable labs. So what we're proposing to lease for 3 years, again, a fair market value lease, is the 23 PC workstations that will replace the CAD lab. The 23 iMacs. So this will be converting our current graphics lab from PCs to the iMac, which is really the computer that is primarily used in graphics design.
What are you doing with those old computers?
Those that, well,
Well,
to
we'll
be honest with
reassign them.
We'll reassign them if they are worth it.
They're worth it.
That means goes to Pembroke or Pearlie, right?
Could be, or it could, maybe there's other places
Yeah.
within the school, but for what they're being used for now.
No, I know they're not
There's,
working
there-
out.
yeah,
They're
there's
not
at least,
working
there's at
even
least
running
10,
computer.
yeah, there's at least 10 that are just
Exactly.
not
I
gonna,
know that.
they're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
be disposed
So.
of. We're proposing a portable lab, really a PC platform of 30 netbooks. Again, if you've seen the portable lab at Pembroke, this would be similar to that. And then really a 30-unit iPad mobile instructional lab. Now, the iPads are interesting because obviously the technology lends itself to a number of different things. But one of the things it also does is the way the iPad is situated, that in a classroom setting, whereas, for example, we have the smart boards in many of the classrooms. With the iPads, you can really do many of the same things with the smart board, only you don't need the smart board. All you need is the projector, which we already have in those classrooms. It's also very flexible in the sense of a lot of different types of things you can do on it, and of course, one of the things that the whole pad technology lends itself in a long-range sense is electronic textbooks. Now, this would be a lab setting, so we wouldn't necessarily have textbooks on these, though I don't know, honestly. There would also be 10 iPads that we would be put into the media center for sort of a general use in the media center as well.
How would this iPad lab work? I mean, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna go there?
No, they're
I think- I mean,
portable.
The
yeah,
iPads
That's what I
will-
mean, I mean, they're gonna go there and take them and bring them back to a
Yeah,
class.
they
Yes.
would sign, they would
Yes.
So
sign
you
them
just sign it up
That's
like
right.
you do for the
That's right.
Yep.
netbook lab?
Yep.
So that
Exactly the same
actually is
way.
gonna increase for students a lot more access, because right now, if you, almost all, I think there's one lab that's available for teachers to be able to go take a class and sign in. Otherwise, they're designated labs for
Right.
particular business classes or, AutoCAD or some of that. This will actually, these two labs will allow teachers to sign those out, and more classes will have accessibility to them.
I would also say they are consistent with your technology plan. This is not anything that was not contemplated as part of the technology plan that was approved.
So
by
I
the
think
committee.
I think for people listening, it's do we buy, 2 computer labs worth of equipment for $57,000, or do we set something like this up where we not only get those 2 labs, but we have the opportunity to deal with some issues of space? And that's where the portable labs have come in, because we've created special ed programs, that, and then we have the 154 students.
Right. Well,
Coming
that's
in.
why I was gonna ask about the 23. Why is that a
23.
space for the two, for the PC lab and the iMac lab? You're buying 23 of each.
There's 22 student computers and there's 1 teacher computer.
That's the way the
And
lab
it-
comes.
That's the
or
way the
that-
lab is
And that's,
configured.
okay, that
Yeah.
was my
Yep.
question.
Yeah.
And I should maybe, again, for the public, what we're talking about here is an annual lease amount of just under $32,000 for those 4 labs. There is an additional $20,000 in purchases this year related to the software for the graphics lab and the CAD lab. And I think there's the cart, we're purchasing the cart for the netbook lab, and some professional development. Now, those are one-time expenditures that, that $20,000 would be available for some other use next year.
Who's going to that professional development? Because I know all of you have already gotten it.
You talking about the iPad?
Yes.
That would be high school teachers, and I don't know who
Do
Principal
middle school
Lucia.
people, is this
Well,
just in
middle high school.
Middle high school.
Because the lab will be used at both
It is for
levels.
both. I
Both
think that,
labs,
I
mean,
think
both
that's.
mobile labs can be used for
Mhm.
Yes.
both?
Both
Yes,
mobile
I
labs will
spoke
be
to
used at
Peter
both
about that the
levels.
other day. I said, because I think, a lot of people have questions about that. He said, no,
Yeah.
there's 6 through 12, and they would be available to, they'd probably house them in the media center, library media center.
Right.
And there'd be a sign-up process.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to approve or to authorize the superintendent or designee to lease the 4 computer labs described on the attached spreadsheet for a total amount of all combined leases not to exceed $32,000 per year. For the course of 3 years, right? It's a 3-year?
Yes. Thank you for adding that.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to second. Any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Principal Lucia will be
No.
very, very happy.
I think I'm done.
Yes, you are.
All right, thanks, Jordan. All right, thank you, Terry. All right, subcommittee reports. Budget. Ann's not here. That means you, Bobby. Anything to discuss about the budget?
We just need to schedule a meeting to talk about the recast budget.
Date, I forget.
That's all you have to
I
do?
gotta put it
Yes.
on my calendar because I.
Thank you.
All right, governance. You have some new things to
Monday.
look at in here. And I think there's one we have to vote on.
Yeah.
But that's it. And we'll look at the wellness policy again. Again. All right, negotiating. Dave?
Yes, we have a meeting on Monday, right?
Both of you gonna be there?
Yes.
Yes.
7 o'clock on Monday.
We were ready for the last one.
We were. They canceled. We were there.
Okay.
We're ready.
I think that was out of spite. Okay, old business. All right, old business, managing, oh, these are the new policies.
Right.
All right, you have, these were distributed last week. So, they include the managing the care of students with concussions, transfer students, animals in school. I think that's it, those 3.
Can I ask a question about the I don't know if it's related just to this, but the concussion thing, didn't the state put a policy that, is that what this is?
This
Okay.
is.
This is it. And do we still have, are we still doing that thing again this year where all parents and coaches had to go? Didn't
That's
they all
part of
have
the,
to go?
that's part of the
part of the
state,
part of
yeah,
this.
yeah,
That's
the
part of the
parents,
state
the parents
expectation.
apparently
That's
have to
planned
take a
because football
class,
season
like a,
sign ups in 2 months.
online to,
So is that gonna
Yeah.
be done?
Is that in here? I didn't
Yeah,
see-
I'll
Is
have
that
to check
in,
with Guy
is
on
that
that.
in here? Cause I
What?
didn't see that. The taking the class part?
yeah, don't the parents, aren't their parents now required to, or like go online and do a survey or do a
Yeah,
question, a class or something?
yeah.
I
This
don't
is the
see it in
policy that MASC
This is
is
just managing them.
developing, yeah, this is just managing the care of.
But I haven't
There
heard
are-
anything
there
else.
are-
I remember when it first came out, there was a
That's
big
probably in the
to-do about
manual.
it.
It's probably already
Is
in the
it?
manual. Yeah, we probably already approved it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
We'll
just
it.
check in terms of the
I just think
administration
parents,
of,
I'm sure parents have no idea.
They
But I
will
think
go.
that was part of the
Yeah.
state's policy, that, right, that the parents were
that, yeah,
required to.
but that should be in the athletic handbook, but I'm gonna check to see that
I
it
think it's
is.
similar to the ethics test.
Isn't that where this is going?
What, can you explain to me
Well,
what the
yeah,
difference
but
between the
this would be
athletic
another one.
handbook and then the policy manual? I mean, is one more,
Well, the policy manual is the broad,
understand that?
right? The athletic
okay.
handbook are, in many ways, the athletic handbook actually has some of the policies referenced in it. But it's more procedural, as opposed to policies are different than the procedures. Athletic handbook is really the procedures that go behind the policies.
Got it.
But it does reference some of the policies directly from the school committee manual.
Right. Well, if you come up with any other questions about any of these, Carol, will you just check on that for our next, before we vote on this?
The what, the actual concussion?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because our next meeting will be the second reading and when we vote. So, all right, that was just information.
okay.
All right,
I'll
new
ask Guy.
business. Summer meeting schedule. Ew. I vote for August 20-something.
Well, I think you do need a July meeting, just because you have to close out, it could be a 1 or 2 agenda meeting, it doesn't have to be a long meeting.
Yeah,
Well,
there'll
yeah,
be
we
some
have to do the budget.
Yeah, you
You
have
have
to,
to
you have
do
to
the-
put
you
the
have to do the
recast
budget.
budget, and get that approved too. so.
Right, right, but when would,
Wish the chair was
when,
here.
would it be better to do that in
I don't like scheduling meetings.
earlier in July or middle of July? I'm trying to think of what we've done in the past.
Well, last couple of years, like I look back last year, I think you met on the 9th.
This year we have, the Thursday's the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wanna do that?
Will it be done?
The recast
It
budget
has
will
to be done.
Yeah, and we have to really get
July
all.
1, we've gotta start
We're
spending.
We're gonna
yeah.
have to be able to do all our final transfers and everything at that point too, so.
Seems that's just like 2 weeks away.
Yep, and
That's
Then we
really,
have
all
a good long
Time,
break.
time flies when you're
So I'm
having
not coming
fun.
back until August.
right, so we're gonna say July
July
7th?
7th?
Okay,
Okay.
and really the topic will be budget,
That's seven.
and unless
Okay.
there's any policies, and the policy approvals.
Yeah,
That'll be those.
we won't have any school
That'll be
reports
those,
or,
yeah.
And
yeah.
if we meet at some point and talk about the wellness policy, that could be done then too.
Okay.
I mean, it's possible, and if it's not, well, then it'll be what it is, right?
We'll get there.
Okay,
Okay, so that's good.
great,
All right,
Okay, and
appointment of
then-
School committee secretary.
yes. We
Alrighty.
didn't actually do this, so we need to determine,
Okay.
Laura's interested in continuing.
Really?
She
On the
is.
spot.
Well, now that you've leased a new copier.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You've made her happy.
All right, well, the chair will entertain a motion to appoint Laura Markarian as a school committee secretary, sorry, for the 2011-2012 year, as agreed to. We have a motion,
Second?
and we have a second. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
I'm not so sure.
All right, there being none.
I'm only kidding.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, opposed?
It's no fun with 4 here, because with 3, you could have,
I could have shut the whole
Could've
thing
started-
down, I
could've shut
know.
it down.
Sign this, or can Ann sign it?
You can sign it. You're the acting chair right now.
All right, it has her name on it, though.
It's all right.
I'll just sign her
I'll
name.
just scratch your name.
DBA.
I think it'll be signed.
That's for the originals in her packet, too.
Yeah.
But she can re-sign all those originals. All right, moving on to the acceptance of a furniture donation.
Yes, in your packet, you'll see that Donna submitted a memo to me, and she's been The recipient, Pembroke School has been the recipient of a furniture donation from a parent, Mr. Josh Hart, and Stevenson Associates. And this includes, donation includes 8 long tables for the art classroom, several new bookcases and a desk. And then Mr. Hart will be delivering the furniture and Donna will be distributing it throughout the school
Nice.
building.
Great,
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
That's a very generous donation, particularly for the art
Mr.
tables,
Hart.
because, the art room,
That's
you
good.
know, has the original equipment there, so.